Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live Action One Piece. This is the review of Episode 1 with Hassan and myself. Hassan has not seen One Piece since he was a kid, and I have semi-recently watched the anime up to the time skip, a little bit past the time skip, but time skip's a good measurement point.
Right.
So we have both seen Episode 1 of the new Netflix live action One Piece. First off, before we go super into it, I've only seen Episode 1. I believe he has only seen
Only
Episode
one, baby.
And so far, I love it. I think they've done a great job of this adaptation. That is my kind of general review before we go deep dive. What was your general opinion of the
General review as a guy who, when I say watch as a kid, I mean like it was on Cartoon Network and I caught episodes sporadically. Same way I caught Naruto as a kid, and then middle of high school, I was like, I really do want to watch Naruto, and I got really into that. So I know characters' names, really general vibes. Like I didn't know Usopp's name until like memes and stuff because of him. So like that's I know Nami, big boobs.
Okay.
I know Luffy, leader guy. I know Zoro, sword man. Woo woo. That's my knowledge. I liked it, man. I had a lot of fun. I have one gripe with it, one singular gripe, and everything else I liked. So
Okay, well, then let's go ahead and start there. What's your gripe?
So the actors of all the main characters and even the
Okay.
supporting cast are really good. All the villains act like they're in a fan film, and like and this is because I'm coming off the heels of having watched Spider-Man Lotus and other fan things for videos I'm working on. So I just made a Spider-Man Lotus video, and that, like, I just dealt with fan film acting, and at its worst, it's bad acting. At its best, it's I'm the villain of the story. Look at me. That's kind of what it felt like. And I didn't watch One Piece, so it might be like on the page, right? Exactly how they are in the show, and that's probably it. But
I was going to say, well, that's the thing is the one thing, or one of the things with One Piece is a lot of the villains are very, very over the top to the point that it's like, when I was watching, I was like, One Piece live action adaptation of a lot of these villains is going to be hard because of so much of what they do really kind of only works in cartoons.
Yeah.
Like in the animation where you can have them look all goofy and have like be 7 feet taller than everyone else.
Pirate woman's name at the beginning starts with an A.
Alita,
or
something
so
like that.
I could tell what they were going for, and I could envision
Alvida.
how it looks.
Alvida.
And I could envision how it would look in animation, and in live action, it was so like,
Have
I'm
you
the most powerful pirate.
Have you seen a picture of her? Just out of curiosity, go do a quick Google of Alvida, and you'll see immediately why I say the villains in this show are very over the top and really kind of overly work in the cartoon, but they definitely kind of tamed her down. I will say this is
why did they butcher her?
Because she's not really.
But Dan, we could have got.
No. That's I think you're looking at the wrong one, bud.
Oh wait, no, my bad.
Yep.
Okay. It's the one that comes up first, so maybe I just spoiled something for myself. But wait. No, I don't know. Okay, that's accurate.
Yeah, that one I believe was the main one. But anyway, point is,
it was just so heartbroken.
The adaptations that they've done for a lot of these people, they don't spoil things for future people. Don't spoil things for the future. Anyway, I thought the adaptions were really good. So moving through, we started off. They're both on the ship. We get Kobe. Kobe is the kid that wants to become a Marine. We get the little story between them. And I just want to quickly say, though, before going too much into all of that, throughout every single scene that you see Luffy, I love that he has the smile. And that it's not forced, because it's so subtle that it looks like his resting face, but that's so Luffy because he is always smiling. And the kid does it so naturally that I was like, thank you for not having this be a weird
first shot of his body. What? So like I don't know what they did with CGI or whatever, but he looks like he's made of rubber, and not in a way of like they put a rubber texture CGI on his skin. His skin, like the way he moves, his Gumby kind of arms, like everything about him and his energy of like, hey, do you want to go on an adventure with me? You join my crew, yeah? And I love that. Like every second of him just being like, well, hey, do you want to join my crew? We're not joining your crew, okay? We're not on your crew. They're part of my crew. And he's just
Yeah.
like, I love this actor. And it's crazy because, like, I guess, I mean, I didn't watch much of One Piece. I never gave much credence or thought to the character. I was a shallow kid who was like, I like my Dragon Ball Z muscles, okay? I like my Naruto cool outfits, my ninja gear. And pirate guy, I wasn't a big fan of the art style. I thought it was like very old school, and I thought like Zoro, who's like the coolest character, looked kind of weird, and like Sanji looked like a tool.
Mhm.
But now I feel like I have a much bigger love and appreciation for it that I'm very excited to watch the real One Piece. Like, it's just, he's so fun. And
Mhm.
there are parts in the action set pieces where I don't think they're using CGI. They're using tricky camera work to simulate him stretching and hitting during punch choreography. And it
Mhm.
works. And it's like, shoot, man, Marvel needs to take notes. When they're going to do Mr. Incredible, they need to take notes of this, because this was,
Mr. Fantastic.
sorry, it doesn't matter, does it really? No,
When you said that, I was like, wait a second.
sorry, Miss Incredible, Disney, Mr. Fantastic, Fantastic Four slash what is it, WandaVision, or no, Multiverse of Madness. He was already in that. I forgot they already did this once. And what they're not going to do it for is Kamala Khan, because she has light-based energy powers. I thought we were going to discuss this, but that's so stupid. But
Yeah, no, the rubber action really showed kind of how there are two aspects to making things like that look good. One is the CG to make it look realistic, but two, it's the motions, the physics, the way that you move with it that really, really emphasizes it. It reminds me very much of Brandon Ralph when he first started playing Superman. He was talking about when he was like they were doing the flying thing, that like one of the things that really made him be more like Superman was when they were thinking, oh, when you go around a building, you're gonna kind of bank it and you're gonna kind of turn. And it's that kind of thing where it's thinking about this mystical or like this fantasy style movement or action, but making it realistic enough that you could go, if that's possible, I could see that working. And that's what they did with this. And I think they did a fantastic job.
I don't know if the show is supposed to get worse, because
Hold on. Are you
IGN
talking
review
about One Piece or the live action?
the live action,
Okay.
because so far it has been fantastic, and IGN gave it a much lower score than the Cowboy Bebop live action, and that was very bad. And now I'm remembering IGN is the company that has said the term "the exaggerated swagger of a black teenager" in reference to Miles Morales. So maybe they're just stupid and we
Well,
shouldn't listen to them.
that and you're also talking about the people that said Legend of Zelda Wind Waker had too much water.
So One Piece. Speaking of water, everything, dude. I mean, like it looks good.
It looks
I would say
good. The characters are great. Like the characters look like the characters. They look like what I would picture them if they were realistic.
well, there's a couple things missing.
I said realistic, sir.
Well, that's a real body type. I'm just saying, it is in nature. Okay, but besides the point, no, she's really good. She's really, really good at as Nami. I was like really gripped by the character. Zoro's hot, man. What a hunk of a dude. Did you see him in the show? He's so handsome. Is he not gorgeous? And like, there was one error with the swords.
Yes, I know exactly what
Bro,
you're talking about because
looks
you
like
saw the
shit.
TikTok of the guy that fixed it.
I didn't see the TikTok, the guy that fixed it. I just saw it when I was
Oh.
watching it. The guy fixed it. There's a guy
So,
fixing it?
okay, so for those wondering, there's a point during the fight, Zoro rolls, his sheath bends. Clearly, you can tell it was the prop, and that's just how it did. They didn't notice it. It wasn't edited. There was a guy on TikTok that saw that and basically just did a time lapse of him fixing it, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, wow. It's possible. This guy did it. Hire him. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's
such
a
a little
small enough one.
It's a
though.
small enough error. I caught it just watching it, and I was like, oh, that's bad. But everything else was so cool, it didn't matter.
Mhm.
It's a real bad one. Like, so he rolls and the swords fold. They bend inward. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the show's good. I'm really into it. So transparently, I had to watch it before we watched this. So I had to watch the first, I want to say 30 minutes of it at 1.5 speed because I was like behind. I had a lot of stuff to do this morning.
That's fair.
And I was angry because I liked it so much. And I was like, I want to watch this at normal speed. This is so good.
Yeah.
And I'll probably, honestly, in the next couple days, finish the entire show. Like it's like watch the whole season
All
and
right.
then maybe jump on to watching some of the anime. I know Totally Not Mark has done this incredible first time watching One Piece retrospective on YouTube. He's probably one of my favorite AniTubers, and the idea of finally being able to watch that is also very exciting to me. So if you guys are like manga anime people, you'll love his review of that. But yeah, I'm on board. I'm locked and loaded. This is cool. You know, it's anime adjacent. We're finally getting live action adaptations that are cool. I still think maybe we shouldn't do live action adaptations for anime. I think maybe there's a line where we should stop. But
I
this
think
one,
this showed that it's. I think this showed that it's possible and it can work for some anime.
yeah, not all of
Don't
them.
do it with all of them. Don't
do it with
all
JoJo's
of them.
Bizarre Adventure.
I
Doesn't make any
know.
sense. No. How?
Because as weird
Who's
as it is,
Jotaro? Who's Jotaro?
I don't know.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson in a wig, in a silly little hat because
I
he's
actually haven't
big?
seen JoJo's. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, and I just think that would be hilarious. But speaking of the anime versus the live action, there were a couple gripes that I wanted to call out because I'm sure some of our fans also saw it, and I want to get their opinion, and I want them to share in the minor disappointment with me. So the first one that I much preferred the anime take and probably the manga. I have not read the manga, so when I will just be saying anime. If the manga is the same, there you go. Anyway, in the anime, Luffy eats the devil fruit because Shanks had just left it on the bar table.
Yeah.
He's hungry, sees it, and just starts eating it. And then everyone notices him doing it. And in the live action, he like sneaks away, finds this box, sees a weird thing, and then eats it. And I'm like, I preferred the other one because it was just so much funnier of them going, we found a devil fruit. Hey, Luffy, no. And I was just really kind of bummed with that one. And I
didn't like that. I remember maybe to go to sleep, I do put on anime reviews and fall asleep. So sometimes I will receive information within the dreamscape and then find out later where. Dude, I'm not even kidding. And I think I did. So like I finished all the Totally Not Mark stuff that I've seen. Like I've watched all Dragon Ball Z, all the Naruto reviews, all the Attack on Titan reviews. I think the One Piece one came on, and I may have like osmosed that information. I specifically remembered how that happened. I remembered that whole scene. So yeah, I thought that was bad. I was like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. The kid is pretty good at certain points. Does the stabbing thing happen the same?
Yes. It's
okay.
Well, yes, for the most part, yes. He does stab himself to prove he's tough enough to be a pirate.
Okay.
Though in the show, the way he does it, I was like,
can we show that on television?
Yeah, like, oh my God, he just freaking stabbed himself hardcore. But he does do that in the anime. That's why he does have that scar throughout the entire show. But that was just one change that I kind of preferred the other one because it kind of gave it a little bit more lightheartedness. And this kind of, I don't know, I felt like the other one added more of like an innocent take of Luffy literally is just hungry, sees this fruit sitting here and eats it, versus goes through a bunch of things, finds something, looks at it, and then starts eating this thing that he clearly does not like the taste of and eats the entire, like, it was just a little weird to me, that one. The other one that didn't bug me so much because of the fact that for the show it made sense, but for the anime, when you do have a longer time, it kind of makes it more impactful, was when they leave Kobe. Because in the anime, when they're leaving him, the Marines are chasing them, and Luffy starts being like kind of yelling at Kobe, making it seem like they're enemies so that the Marines don't think that he is friends with these pirates he's been working with. And that way he doesn't have an issue with the Marines thinking he's one with the pirates or friends with pirates. And I feel like that was just one of those ones though, where it's like, without it, it doesn't necessarily take away from the story, but when it is there, you're like, okay, it does add. It doesn't retract, but it does definitely add something to it. But overall, like, I've just loved how they've really kept to the way that these characters look. Like, I feel like the look on all of them has been exactly what they look like or exactly what you would imagine that to be transformed
Yeah.
into. And I'm glad that they have not taken away any of it. Like, the fact that the guy had, like, the metal jaw completely attached to him, you could very easily see some of the older live action adaptations being like, well, clearly that means he's just got a metal mask on or something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that they just went all out and were like, no, he's got a metal jaw. We got talking snails, like the freaking transponder snails look exactly like the person who it is. Like, it's just,
That's really cool. I mean,
I'm very impressed. I've
and
been
visually it's cool. I think the only set piece that I thought looked bad or wonky was the hallways leading into his office, and then like to go from the office back to that one outside quarry we'd already been. It felt like reusing assets a lot. It felt like if you ever played Kingdom Hearts 1, where it always feels like you're in the same room in Agrabah every time you move from one place to another.
right.
It felt weirdly like that. Other
Just
than
wait till
that,
you play Starfield if you like experiencing the same map.
I won't be playing that crap.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Side
Yeah.
note, I do enjoy it. There are problems, but it is still a fun game. Anyway, I do see what you're saying though. Like, there definitely were quite a few reused set pieces there,
Yeah.
but I feel like for the most part, the way that they did it, it was okay because it's not like the set really mattered. It was more the fight and stuff happening on it that mattered. So I wasn't too annoyed with that. I'm very curious to see how the rest of the show plays out. I will say it's going to be hard for me to push through it because regardless of the fact that this is an adaptation of an anime,
You can't
it
handle
is
live
it's
action.
live action. I struggle. I don't even know why. Even
Yeah.
when I'm enjoying it, I struggle. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I struggle, and people know
What?
that is one of my
That is
favorite
the perfect
shows.
show. That is the
It is
perfect
amazing.
show.
It is
the perfect
perfect.
show.
There are parts though that I struggle. The first episode's a great example. There are quite a few parts in that are like,
Mhm.
okay. Anyway,
So if we
that
were
is
to put
beside
on
point.
the Scott's Tots episode of The Office, you probably would just die.
I can't handle The Office, is enough said. But overall, I think this anime adaptation has been fantastic. Has shown that these live action adaptations have they can be good. Like, up to this point, I think everyone was kind of in the boat of you can't live action adapt an anime. It doesn't work. No one's ever done it successfully. I would say now they've done it successfully.
Damn. Well, we're gonna watch the rest of the show, give you our thoughts
Yep.
at the end of season 1, probably, just so we can keep it well rounded. I know episodic reviews aren't as much of a thing when it comes to these Netflix streaming blockbusters.
Yep.
And we're a little late to the party on this one anyway. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I think we got our thoughts out here.
Yep.
I'm excited. First time One Piece viewer, honestly, like realistically, first time One Piece viewer. And it's cool. This seems like a good show, and I'm excited to watch more of it.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching today. He's Hassan. Check him out at Hassan.Kader on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
I am Dan. This is Absolutely, and we'll see you next time.